Okay, so this video we're doing some flight testing in the SWS Kodiak, in exploring its static and dynamic stability. And for this test I've tried to recreate the conditions reported by Hillcrest in his video. So I'm in the Kodiak. I've got the standard co-pilot, no cargo loadout, and 50% fuel. Don't like the doggo. Center balance, it's all just as default. I've got prop at 2,200 and I've set 1,000 pounds of torque. Flaps are full. The weather is just the same clear weather preset with a 5-knot wind from the east, and I've left the gust in on that. Let me just bring that up so you can see. So there's just the custom, and then right, okay, it's obviously not done that. Let's bring that up to 5. Glad I checked that now. I'm not sure why I loaded it, but the gust, as you can see, that's 5 knots as well, but that's coming from the west, not the east. But I'll leave that as it is because that's just well, hang on, no, I'll move that around to the east, which is what we had before. I'll make the gusts come from the east as well. Well, you see, there you go, there's a gust there, and yeah, it was the gusts up into the east, and I'll put the... Okay, so we now have the same weather conditions. I'm not sure why I didn't create that in the world map and it didn't register. Anyway, so there we are, but you can see that gust kicking in, and also we should be able to see the gusts register down here when we get them. So I've set up the flight director on roll mode, which is wings level, and to hold an altitude of 2,000 feet. I've trimmed the aircraft for this. Probably just work the trim a little bit as you go along, but I'm basically flying hands free at the moment. And important to say, I'm using the default flight model, so I'm not touching anything. Maintaining fairly steady. It's rolling to the right a bit. I do have a little bit of right aileron trim in, so I'll just zero that out. So I find with the Kodiak, the left turning tendency created by the torque does mean that if you're flying hands free and you're trying to trim it out, you do want a bit more. There's a gust there. We'll see what happens. Well, I'm holding my 89, kind of 90 knots. I didn't start spiraling or anything like that. And these are the conditions as close as I can make them to what I saw before. I'm using a Honeycomb Alpha as the main flight controller. Now you can see I'm starting to bank to the left a bit now. That's torque, and that's what aileron trim is there for. And you can combine aileron trim with a bit of rudder. Now, should it do that? Yes, probably should. That's normal. That's what the trim is there for. I'm still holding my 2,000 feet. So the pitch trim is pretty stable in these conditions. I would say though that in the flight model, pitch trim is more stable than this is in the default flight model. The roll stability values are quite low. There's a good gust there. The roll stability values are quite low, and that's one of the things I have actually altered in the custom flight model that I use. But not seeing the same behaviour. Well, there we go, there's a good gust. Let's see, I'm not touching anything now. Okay, so that's gust on gust, and it's not returning to its attitude before, but nor is it accelerating away. So it's more of a neutral stability. Has recovered a little bit. I know it's demonstrating some positive behaviour there, but not anything particularly dramatic. I mean, should the aircraft be stable enough to compensate for, you know, what looked like I don't know, see it in the video later, but that felt fairly, there was a couple of quite strong gusts on top of one another. I don't know, I didn't quite comment on that. I'm not a real world pilot, so I'm not sure. And I'm not a real world pilot in a Kodiak, so I'm not sure what the effect of having a couple of punchy 10 knot gusts would be. I mean, but I don't think, yeah, you know, you can trim an aircraft out and fly hands-free, and there are some models in the sim, particularly like the Grand Caravan, which are so stable that you barely need to touch the controls, and that's good in one way, but it's not very, it's got so many other deficiencies in its flight model that, yeah. So anyway, I'll come back onto this heading that I had. There's another gust. So it is the gusts that are the issue, and so if you are flight testing, you have to remove all of these factors. And even the clear weather preset has 1 knot of wind, and so when I'm flight testing, I remove that as well. I have a, you know, if I just want to eliminate all the factors. You've also got to take in mind the turbulence setting that is available as well, and that operates separately from the gust, but there doesn't seem to be any turbulence going on at the moment. So I am putting in little aileron inputs here and there just to try and keep the heading. Let's see what happens with some more gusts. So overall, I would say this is it's somewhere between neutral and slight positive stability here. But certainly it can be improved, as I have in my own custom flight model, but it's that dramatic. I mean, I haven't touched the controls now for a good couple of minutes, so don't know what was going on with the Hellcar's Crest test. Something else at work there. It might be turbulence because he was flying over built-up areas, and the simulator will generate turbulence. Could be something else like FS Realistic can, if you leave the turbulence settings on that can do muck around with the flight model a bit. I'm definitely getting some good gusts there. It's tipping me over. But I haven't. I've maintained a good degree of pitch stability there. I've not gone shooting up and down the height. I mean, I'm gaining altitude all the time, but that's more to do with the way I've trimmed it. But yeah, this it is not quite stable enough on the roll axis, and that is one of the main things I changed. Anyway, but I think I've seen enough now. I think there is something else going on. In the Hellcar's Crest. It might even be some sort of conflict or extra input coming through from the controllers. It can happen. But as you see, I haven't touched the controls now for a good long while, and the aircraft has not entered into a death spiral. anything, I've been gaining height, not losing it. Anyway, I'll stop the recording now.